guys, what's up? My name is Elizabeth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be called Wifey Update Episode 1 because last week was really just my return to YouTube and I talked about everything, not just a Wifey Update. So, I thought to start off this video, I could talk a little bit about what's kind of been going on in my personal life. So, as you can see in the back, I got my highlighter, I got my book, and it's actually kind of open, so I've been working and studying on my religious part for my religious videos that hopefully will be releasing Friday, if it can be released in time. Mostly the issue is partially editing, but more importantly, the fact that we don't have internet, so it can kind of be hard to upload these videos because of that. So, with that being said, Saturday, I finally got a nice needed hiatus from work, which is great. Since we've been married, I've kind of just been running. Saturday was the wedding, Sunday was a hiatus, and then just been running that entire week. Wednesday, we had New Year's Day, which was fine and it's great, but socialization is a lot of work for me, so it's not like, hey, I got to hide in my house and do nothing, which is my perfect time of hiatus, practically, or doing something that's very slow and not involving too many people. But I still love doing New Year's Day. I'm just saying, to me, that's a lot of work. Going to social events is not what I do for when I want to take a breather, is all I'm saying. And then Saturday, my husband worked because he took Wednesday off. And so I was also working as well, just trying to get this house ready and everything like that. Previously, that Friday, we hosted my parents. And then next Friday, we hosted his parents. And so finally, on last Saturday, I got a break. I got to sleep in till 8 o'clock, which was awesome. And then I took like a 1 or 2 hour nap during the day. I was so tired. And also I was under the weather. Sunday, we had church in the morning. And then we had to get ready because we were hosting again for friends of ours. We have a Bible study with them. And thus far, until they get more people, we're just kind of going back and forth. So they brought the food, but we hosted, which was really cool. Honestly, this week kind of has just been a lot slower, which I'm thankful for. There's still things I could do, but it's not like do it now. Like do it now because it really needs to get done ASAP versus, yes, it would be nice to get the yard cleaned up, but if it doesn't, it's not going to be the end of the world compared to, yeah, you gotta get like your address changed, you gotta get your name changed, you gotta figure out, have you moved everything else left out of your parents' house, different things like that. So that has been honestly great. So what have I learned from last week to this week? I think the first thing that I've learned is this. Instead of critiquing my husband's leadership so much as I seem to do, I need to do so more critiquing on my own submissiveness. So instead of critiquing him, I need to start critiquing myself. And I think what that comes to is, am I being supportive in his leadership? Or even worse, am I preventing him from being the leader that he needs to be for our household, for our family? And I think oftentimes I find myself preventing that leadership. I think as a wife, oftentimes I found my role to be almost like an administrator or as an advisor. I'm not trying to prompt myself up here, but it's like if he was the king and he had an advisor who happens to know everything that goes on in this house, right? I am the one who is constantly have the eye on the budget. I have the eye on the schedule. I know everything that comes in and out of this house. So does he to a certain extent. But I'm the one who's constantly, my mind is constantly on those things. And so with that, I can take my advisorship to leadership instead of just staying in my lane and being advising. Because, he can't. He doesn't have the time of day to know all of this. Which is fine. And also, I happen to maybe have some more training in some of these areas like budgeting. And so that is good, but I need to be careful about taking my advisorship and stepping over his leadership. I can be here and be like, this is what it says, this is the numbers, these are the datas, and let him do that. And he's going to succeed, and he's going to fail, and I need to support him in both ways. Because he's young and he's learning. He's not young, but he's like 23 and he's learning. We're newly in our marriage. I'm learning what it means to be a helpmate, and he's learning what it means to lead. But we can't do our jobs if we're preventing each other from doing it. And I found myself kind of preventing him from leading, specifically by taking my advisory into outright, I'm telling you what to do. And I need to be careful of that. Or vetoing him when I don't really need to veto him as much as I do. Nothing that I've ever vetoed was life and death matters or unbiblical. It was just differing of opinions, and I need to instead be like, thank you for taking leadership, thank you for doing this, and that encourages his leadership as well. The second thing I really learned is instead of having the schedule of being a master, we instead allow it to remind us of the order of which things need to be done. And why I say it like this is I've been, since I moved, and I've been working a lot on the schedule, seeing what do I need to do, and how is the order best proceeded to get this stuff done. One thing I found out is I really need to do studying in the morning. But then also I'm really energetic, so I gotta do stuff. So I have to figure out a good balance between, okay, well, I can study a little bit, then go do laundry, then study again. That gives me breaks while also giving me standing up breaks, doing stuff, like my mind do busy work. And then trying to get that all done early in the morning instead of pushing off in the afternoon, which is often what I done and kind of what I did today. So I'm hoping that tomorrow I can push studying being early so that I can get it actually done. As I said in the last video, putting your big rocks first and then your little rocks will follow. I am grateful that I have been able to get workout done in the morning for the most part. But it is try and error, which leads me into allow grace and discipline. That's the third thing I learned. Allow grace and discipline. I think sometimes when we want to be disciplined in our schedule, in our routine, be able to be disciplined in getting these things done, we don't allow grace. So instead, when we miss the mark, we try to punish ourselves somehow, which also ends up leading us to be so focused on the time we lost than the rest of the time we have. I'm so focused on saying, oh, I missed studying, so I'm going to try to make up that studying, which honestly, most of the time I can't make up the study because my brain capacity is a 24-hour thing and not a 7-day thing. So I can only study for so long, and there's only so much, and that kind of just discourages me and kind of makes me not want to study at all instead of going, okay, fine. You know what? We're late on studying, or we didn't do as much studying as yesterday as I hoped. You know what? Today's a new day. I'm going to just jump right in and get to it. Instead of being, oh my goodness, how can I calculate on making that up? And then the last thing I want to talk about is allow time for healing. I think sometimes when we go through a lot of stress in our lives, a lot of change, and just stuff that we personally are struggling with, we need time for healing. And to allow ourselves to let go of some things. I think a lot of times, especially when we're in a rut, we're like, okay, I want to do all these things and we're going to do it all now. And it's like, no, we can't do that. So we need to allow time for healing, allow time of grace, and be like, these are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to allow grace for when I don't do it all and I mess up. And then when I start, gaining that discipline, I'm going to add more, and then I'm going to allow grace at the same time, and so forth. And we kind of keep moving on. And so that's kind of what I've learned. I hope that I was able to sum that up well for you all there. So that's really what I've been learning, and I really hope that kind of helps you just allow your time to breathe, to adjust, and to learn, and to, be supportive to your husband. So with that being said, thank you so much. I hope to see you next time, and God bless. I'll see you guys later.